Virtus Pro, they had Dragonite, right, together with the Drow. And that Dragonite is able to push, he's able to create space, he's able to do work. TA, usually, if you think about her, TA farms mid, farms Asians. Does not necessarily just go and create space for her carry. And her carry is Drow Ranger, and Drow Ranger also needs space. So uh, by the time they get this space, it might be a bit too late. So we'll see just what the plan is, what the strategy and the approach to this game will be from Wind and Rain. There definitely is a way for them to win, but in my eyes, it's a little bit more difficult to execute than it is for Gambit.
And there's obviously that element, like the SF is going to farm as quickly as you. Yes, you can't take the Ancients as simply as a TA, but earlier on, like the rapid rate at which he'll burn his way through the jungle, it's much quicker than TA. I guess one argument point is that while GPK has proven himself as hero before, SF, it does feel like it's a hero that has awkward item builds, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing that feels like definitive. It's not like a Wraith King who gets a Radiance, or even a Kunkor who gets a Radiance.
There's definitely multiple pathways that you can take SF itemization to. You can go for the heals, you can go for some right-click damage, you can go for some utility, you can go for some pick-offs with Yules, right? There's just so many different item builds for SF, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's GPK about to do today. Anything would be good. I think you get a lot of utility from Kunkka if he builds that. You know, so perhaps you don't have to go in that way. You don't have to go for those Greaves.
Well, we don't really. I don't feel like we see Greaves that much at the moment.
We don't see, but Gambit, they used to be the team with SF Greaves. Like they would pick SF.
Any hero or Greaves.
SF and Viper. Or maybe
Pangolier.
Sometimes Razor, right?
This is another one. I think Pango for a bit became really big for the Guardian Greaves building.
Yeah. They just love that on mid. But that's before GPK was there.
Yes.
They had a different midder, the different lineup completely.
Well, part of FNG.
Part of FNG, obviously.
Apart from the beheader himself, who's playing the hero most likely to get beheaded in this game. The only squishy member of the Gambit lineup. I mean, SF, he's still a bit more bulky and will likely build more bulky than a CM. But that could be the kind of definitive part that works against them. If they don't jump the CM, you might see some good freezing field ultimates just because the way that typically you initiate with a Legion Commander, it is fairly deep. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We have to see how these lanes are going to go. And I wonder if they're going to try and force Gambit into a tri-lane scenario. Because CM plus Wraith King can be pretty potent.
CM plus Wraith King can be definitely strong for Gambit. But Legion and Wyvern, if they are there as a dual lane, should be fine.
Yeah, they use your own army against you.
Yeah, it's just Nikwa. He has to go top. And he most likely will. There's no necessity to try lane here, I guess.
So they're just going to try for the runes to begin with. Boogie's nowhere near the runes on either side, so he just gave up both the top ones. But they move away on the bot. They go, okay, not worth the HP trade.
Yeah, Boogie will be able to grab his Quelling Blade up on top.
This should make CS pretty... He's against a melee hero is the other thing. It's a bit of a weird one because Wraith King is one of those heroes. Once he gets like level 2, if he gets one crit, he could potentially run you down with the assistance of the CM.
CM that's taking quite a lot of damage from Nikwa. And I said that Nikwa should rotate top, and he should. He should be on this top lane. With the Basilisk, he should be trading hits, helping his LC out. But this bottom lane can be really difficult for Nefrit. If you think about it, you have Shachlo and you have Tiny. You step out of line, suddenly you're tossed back, suddenly you're so far that these two can take you down. It's on Yol to zone them out as well as he can.
Something we maybe don't like usually hit on too often in the start lanes is when you're a ranged hero, especially like they're especially susceptible to Tiny, because if you get tossed back into the creep wave, you can't trade. All those creeps are on top of you. They do a lot of damage. It's not like you're a stout carrier. And especially a hero like this can go down torrent into toss. It's going to likely happen at some point in this lane. More an inevitability. Mid lane in the meantime, not too bad actually. SF GPK did start with the Shadow Rays, as you usually expect.
Usually what you do when you're on a lane that's as difficult as this one. Oh, he messed that raise up. Wish actually gets a deny on the range creep. His first deny though, so it's still good for GPK. He's controlling this lane really well, and considering it's very difficult for SF to win the first couple of waves, he's done extremely well. He's won them definitively, and he's still on winning, yeah.
Yeah, 4 denies already. He's looking pretty hot in this lane.
Yeah. GPK, new rising star of the CIS.
Showing us why. SF, one of those classics that mid get to show off on.
Let's just not.
Yeah, ignore everywhere else. GPK, I mean, look at this play here. He knows that Wish has to commit now. He'll salve up. And there you go.
Wish actually has no. Yeah, there you go. The pop.
Rotation.
Oh,
Yol. Hello.
Haste.
What are you doing over here?
They can kill him. They can dive this.
They're going for it. The TP's coming in. CM may be too late. GPK will be going down as Yol gets the final hit and the first blood.
I mean, that's very unfortunate for the SF. That haste there just helps out Yogurt so much.
And I think it's like,
down.
it's kind of that show of your flashy kind of mid players where that play makes sense in a vacuum, right? But you have to remember the 2-minute marker's coming up. You don't have vision on the runes. You don't know what there is. And we see it every time at the moment.
I completely agree with you, but at the same time, it's that rune that makes that possible. It's just the haste.
That's what I mean, though. Like, we've seen that more and more often. Like, the mid lane is being decided usually by the support's rotation off of the rune.
Top lane.
Yeah, they kill on the Wraith King. Caught him near the creep wave.
So they start off with 2 good kills. As FNG had to port mid instantly, they punish the carry for that, the Wraith King.
It's the unfolding of the map, right? Like, you know the CM has rotated mid, so therefore you know you can make that play top.
Exactly.
Rippling effects, that's the way Dota works. It's usually the small errors that lead to bigger ones. So a good start for Winter Rain, 2 kills on the board. Vampire needs to try and get active somewhere soon. You know, this Tiny is usually the hero we expect to see make kills out.
He got a couple of creep waves behind for Kunkka and himself, so he's already level 2. But yeah, he should get involved a bit more.
But they know he's coming. Yol's already mirroring his movements as well as the problem. Oh, and meanwhile, top. FNG gets ran down as they move behind the tower. They're making this hyper-aggressive lane work.
Wind and Rain, they're making all of their lanes work. With that one rotation from Ogre, I believe everything changed. Yol, yeah, why didn't he play like this when he was with me? With me, he was just feeding. Here he's playing this Ogre playmaker position 5. Like, what?
Maybe your Meepo wasn't as impressive at GPK's SF. There's some we're going to see here. I could explain it. Oh, there we go.
That's a solo kill on a TA by the SF. Also an SF that died.
And the tips come out appropriately as well.
Tips definitely are needed there. But Wish might be a little bit tilted after that death.
Vampire went shopping, got the illusion instead. Yol and these runes. I mean, he's been on point with this so far. Definitely, clearly a man who likes to
summon the runes well.
Yeah, he's got RNG on his side. Flip the coin. Maybe that's what's really happening here.
GPK, can he be the one that falls here?
Raise, and Wish is almost dead again. GPK is just playing with him.
Yeah, he definitely understands the limits that he has on this hero, and he's making Wish...
Wish he wasn't here.
Yeah, wish he wasn't there indeed. I was gonna say quite a sad boy, but you just
can't make
said that much better.
You can already see it. Like, this is the thing. It's a volatile lane on both sides, but there's a reason we keep looking there instead of bot. At any moment, one of these guys could die.
Yeah, you can see GPK playing on 10% HP and Dream playing on
0%
HP, it seems.
Although the shrine's so close.
Also playing on the edge.
Okay, I like this from Boogie. He's like, wait, GPK's missing. He probably wants the shrine and wants me along with it. In the meantime, Nikwa won't be caught.
Yeah, Nikwa is going to get quite a lot of farm there from the Skellies, from all the creeps following him too. So he should be a happy little camper. Happy little wyvern, that is.
Alright, I know what's going on here, Liz. There's a pause. GPK's gone, dude, I died mid and I'm killing people. What are you guys doing in these outer lanes?
It's also GPK playing versus a TA with a draw aura too. Yeah, it's not like ridiculously effective, but it's still...
it's still like an extra attack in a fight, right?
Exactly, it's still there, and he's still taking advantage versus the TA. But it changes a little bit, I guess, once that 6 hits. STA will have traps to work with, but if you check the net worth, SF is what, 700 ahead at the moment? That's not a small thing. Your TA has less net worth than the Winter Wyvern.
In fairness, Nikwa has had 3 assists, but yeah, that's a little bit concerning right now. Now, your argument is always that your TA falls back and farms, right? There is a concern on the other side, though, that you have got this drought, right? And GPK could start rotating early on and picking you up.
The argument is your TA always falls back and farms, but that's the argument when your TA is playing a matchup which isn't really suited well for her. This matchup is the matchup which she should win. And,
yes,
you know, that's the difference.
Maybe that was the problem. Wish came in this lane, he's like, this should be straightforward. He'll just let me farm, and then he's just up in your face all the time, and it catches you off guard a little. It'd be interesting to see if Gambit can start making plays on this bot lane, though, right? Because you are reaching that point. Kuka's up to 4. He's got the abilities to set up kills with Tiny now. So maybe Yol starts getting punished for his over-aggression. Maybe even you managed to get onto Nefret. Last of all, you have got that X into Torrent leading up to toss combos.
They played that bottom lane very well on the side of Indian Rain, though. Even though Kunkka, yeah, he has found some farm and some levels. Drow isn't suffering. Drow is actually second on the network, just behind the LC, who's also on her side, obviously. So these outer lanes definitely going really well for Wind and Rain. Mid lane not as much, but you can't have it all.
No. I mean, if there was that argument, win 2 lanes. If you're winning 3, something has seriously gone wrong with your opponent's draft, not something you've done right necessarily.
Yeah, but it's interesting because that's the one lane we expected Wind and Rain to do super well on. That's the lane that they are actually losing, the mid lane.
That's the one that will in front of the bus. And now moving in. Torrent was already set up, and as a result, Vampire has no protection. Gets ran down and killed, because that's level 6 for Nefret.
Yeah, that's an easy kill. He didn't even try to toss, and then top lane.
Top. FNG might go down as well. The proc's coming through. They'll run him through and get the kill.
They're just destroying Gambit right now. 8-1, 2K ahead, 6 minutes in.
And this is scary, by the way. This is pre-6 Legion. If this is how well they're doing, imagine when the duel's on the table.
No, I don't get it. Gambit, they have to step it up when it comes to these early game plays, because this just won't do. I think their draft is still good, it's alright, but if you feed too much in the laning stage, it won't matter how good your draft is.
No, and now look at this rotation. Nefret's come up to top.
Great rotation, by the way, I love this from him.
Open up the jungle quickly and shut down the Wraith King, right?
However, Tiny has spotted him out. And now there's a Dream rotating in, but Dream is level 4.
Boogie's not level 6, so this won't be a dual win, even if they get FNG, but here's the problem. Avalanche, Wraith Fire blasts around the back, no one to protect Nefret as GPK arrives to get the kill.
That's such a bad trade for them. You just lost a level 6 Drow, you gave them so much experience, Vampire got a level, and so did Wraith King. All you got was a Crystal Maiden. Instead of diving, just pressuring that tower, holding formation would be much better, I believe. You'd take an objective, and also you most likely wouldn't lose anyone. But when you go out of position like that, Drow is somewhere on the right side and they can just collapse onto her. You can't save her with Legions, press the attack. And
it's that ripple effect we mentioned, right? Because now the ripple effect is that you were looking good on Legion. You were going to get 6 before Wraith King would get there. Now, he'll probably have 6 by the time you get a duel opportunity. So it's not a kill anymore into a duel victory. So, small things. They ripple out, cause big problems. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, Shatcho now has 6, which means that Nikwa needs to play careful.
Yeah, Nikwa is careful. Nikwa is actually, like we mentioned before, pretty rich. Almost has 8 lands to work with. Arcane Boots, Basilisk, Magic Stick. It is a position 5 for Winter Wyvern, though. And like I talked about Grimstroke position 4, I feel very similarly about position 4 Winter Wyvern. I don't think it's super necessary.
You usually get your gold anyway, and it's also one of those heroes, like, I think maybe Wyvern a little bit less, but definitely Grimstroke is one of those heroes where you get this goal, it's like, what do I really build? Usually with the Winter Wyvern, it's like a Glimmer Cape, and then you're like, okay, what else does a Wyvern need?
With Grimstroke, at least you have Hex to build, you know, like Hex forces.
Yes.
With Soulbind, it works so well, that Hex, but...
GPK.
Invis.
They're smoked up, moving in with that Invis as well. Vampire is lurking, and Wish, he pings it out.
Wish he might just go here, though. There's an Ogre rotation. I was surprised they didn't wait out on that high ground, but they were just a little bit too disciplined here.
They have the ward. They're coming back now. They know he's here. Vampire moves in, catches on the Wish. The refraction's up, but he's tossed back into a big mess. They'll run him down and kill him off. They turn around, find the CM kill. No, they're going to find Vampire. The dual control onto GPK. It's all gone wrong now. The Torrent, too late to save his life.
Very well played by Wind and Rain. Understanding what's happening and reacting properly. At the same time, that reluctancy from Gambit is what allowed it to happen. Because if you remember, if they just stayed on that high ground and waited for the TA to run at them, like, they could have taken her down, but they go back and they try to be a little bit too cute with it, like some stuns into toss back, into frostbite, into raises. It sounds great, it looks fancy, but it takes way too much time. It takes a few extra seconds that allowed that Legion commander to just stroll past by, press the attack on TA and just blow them up.
It's that kind of what if. What if, for example, you didn't have to open the Avalanche? Like, you were waiting there, you toss them back, and then you have the stun control that she can never kill off your CM that quick. The moment you do, it all goes wrong, and all of a sudden, GPK, he was feeling so confident with that lead he's built. Now look at them. even on net worth.
Even on net worth with the next 3 cores of Wind and Rain. After that, Kunkka, who is 1k below 7k.
Dream. You don't want to have to give the Reincarnate up. Luckily, you won't have to. But he does have to give up the runes at least. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Slashlo gets one. What is Slashlo really building into? What does a Kunkka truly need? Is this just a Rush Halberd type game?
It's possible to get something like Halberd. It's also possible to get something like Crimson for the team. Go full utility. You don't have to... It's not about the damage on this Kunkka. You have your Wraith King and you have the SF to dish out all the damage.
Is that maybe also the big concerns? Like that fight they took where they waited around too long. It's the comparison, right? Where was this offlaner compared to the Legion? The Legion, you expect the Kunkka to be making those type of plays earlier, right? Whereas Legion's usually this hero that doesn't mind staying on the lane and pushing towers a bit harder.
Definitely. We'll see what Shachlo does. Right now, he's kind of lost in the jungle, not really moving anywhere. But his rotations should come soon. Once you get like level 3x marks the spot, you're already able to get pickoffs. Or maybe they will do it now around that bottom lane. You can see them circling around it.
No smoke to work with though.
That's problematic.
Especially if your target is Nikwa. Worst case scenario, he just winter curses and runs away. We'll try and move in now.
He's keeping Wraith King low as well. So Wraith King, if he wants to be aggressive, he's going to expand his first life very fast. And that's never really what you want to do. They did scout them out on the bottom lane as they have the wards to work with, so you can see Nikwa just hiding behind the tower instantly after.
Yeah, he activates turtle mode, just goes back into his shell, dares them to come under the tower. They're pinging it right now.
He can fly over, he's completely fine.
The problem is they've revealed their commitment. They should at least get the tower. It doesn't look like Wind and Rain are going to be quick enough to defend, but they might catch them on the exit. You can see them coming in now. There's a TP in from the TA. Tower is almost down, one more hit needed. Wish didn't go for the deny though, and now they're going to go for the backstab. Boogie moves in, looking for the duel opportunity. Sansa's out onto Dream, he chases across. GPK is dueled and dead already. They'll clean up Dream afterwards. The torrent only connects onto one. They need one more tap, and there it is. And they'll be on top of him. Trap's already ready. Dream will go for the TP, but it's ambitious at best.
Man, these side lanes just went so poorly for Gambit that they can't even go together and take a tier 1 on the bottom lane without losing without having massive consequences. Like you lose SF and 2 lives of Wraith King.
And suddenly your Wraith King is now talking to his team going, guys, I need the safest location on the map. But you know GPK is saying the same thing because he needs to replenish souls and farm up.
They just need XS Vampire to get his Blink Dagger. I think that's the most important item at the moment for Gambit. After he has that, you're actually able to jump on one of the squishier targets and blow it up, something like a Drow Ranger. But at the moment, they just don't have that. They don't have that luxury to go for a pick-off.
Well, they are at least close, so the time of luxury may be upon them, as Vampire will get it after the next
And also, we spoke about all the different item builds for SF, and it seems he decided to go for the Yules.
This means he has to find maximum value in the next 10 minutes, otherwise, what are you doing this for? I guess his logic is we just need to make space for the Wraith King, but who's going to have a fairly late Midas as well.
It's a very interesting build, definitely. Late Midas for the Wraith King into the Radiance. It's a great build when you get it on time. When you don't get it on time and you're playing versus the Drow that already has a pike or something, it can feel quite underwhelming.
And Nefret's feeling so confident on this Drow, he's not even rushing the pike, he's stopping off for a Yasha first by the looks of it. And why not? I mean, you're ready to just fight straight up in their face. Wish already has the completed Desolate on his way out. He's got the final component coming. Already eyeing up a Blink Dagger next. We'll probably turn to Roche after this gank up. Vampire trying to get out.
They reused his courier.
Yep.
They reused the courier and he had Blink on it.
For clarity, by the way. Oh wait, no, it's the
for
heals as well.
Yeah. But still though, that Blink Dagger should be given to the Tiny first.
And now your Tiny is down to half HP. In fact, he's at risk of dying here.
They could kill him. One stun and
they will. There he is. Yol gets the kill with the multicast. They get the tier 2 tower. The pressure is on. They're on the high ground with the smoke. Smoke in return from Wind and Rain.
The worst thing is you can't even fight now because your Tiny didn't get the blink. Like, it was so important for him to get it.
Well, you can maybe find a remnant left behind. Nikwa gets found. Actually going to sidestep the boat. Gets dragged back just in time after using the Winter's Curse, though.
Yeah.
But still, this could easily be Roche for Wind and Rain, especially with the boat now on cooldown.
Maybe not because Winter Wyvern is dead. and you don't have Curse to work with. Also, everyone is alive on the side of Gambit. Is there a Desolator? There is a Deso on Dvish, but I think you still continue farming. Pushing Roche at this point, when you're 5k ahead, 15 to 3, 15 minutes in.
It's not an imminent, like it's more risk than bluff.
Exactly. The risk outweighs the benefits, so they opt not to go into that pit and they continue farming. There is a Midas completed on Dream though, which will allow him to get closer to his lovely, beloved Radiance.
Exactly, and there's another smoke as well. Gambit come around the back. If they could find Nefra, it is a prime kill.
Perhaps they can use that Blink Dagger on the Tiny. The Blink Dagger that he was waiting for so long. Man, I would be so tilted. Like, you buy that Blink, you send it to yourself, someone reuses the courier, sends it back to base. It takes his items, which aren't as relevant as yours.
And now you don't even get to use it because you were stuck waiting around at the tier 1 so long. The Aegis has already been claimed.
Yeah, and that Aegis has been taken by Wish, the TA. And
They're moving.
That makes me think that they want to start pressuring these towers because usually you can give that to Drow because she's more susceptible to that.
Look at Wind and Rain. They're way too split up here. They need to be careful.
No,
Stunts
they
are
have
coming
the
out.
shrine. Let's
Boat.
see.
Duels out onto the CM. Gonna bring down FNG. That's one kill. Wind and Rain wrapping in for more. Winner's Curse is there on the Schlackshow as well. You know, it looked good for a moment, like they might be able to actually punish the split, but Wind and Rain get across quickly.
They were split up, but they also had the shrine there, and they wasted no TPs before, so they just gathered around like Power Rangers in a matter of seconds. They just spawned, and they took 2 kills.
They
one
unified
duel as well.
Get I just noticed something on Nico, by the way.
He took the damage.
Yeah, he took the damage. I mean, I get it with the Bloodlust and the precision. They're just trying to create another right-click carry here.
He is going for right click.
Yeah.
Look,
we're getting a very spicy game here, Liz.
He's got Maelstrom
queued up.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, he is position 4, so perhaps that's the reasoning behind the Winter Wyvern. And Nikwa used to be offlane, so you remember when position 3 Wyvern was a thing with damage?
I mean, it fits as well. Remember last time we were seeing Wind and Rain, what was it, the TIA run qualifier where they had the offlane CMs and Wyverns? Maybe it's just something about the team more than the players.
Nah, it's about Nikwa.
No, this is like Alliance. You know how their spirit is always split push?
Offlane CM can still work, in my opinion. I think that's still alright, but not like right click.
No. Whereas with this specific draft, I mean, the means to make it work.
I don't know. Nikwa did go for Basilius and Tranquils with Aether Lance. It's not really a lot of right click damage that you'll get, but you do have 60 damage bonus.
Exactly. You got the Precision Aura, 110 attack speed extra, and then the Bloodlust on you as well. And just look at the speed they're taking down this tower.
I was worried that Wind and Rain, if they lose the lanes, they will just crumble, but they didn't lose the lanes. They
Turns out they
them.
dominate, yeah.
Yeah, they dominated the lanes, and after
Jump
that...
in. Vampire drags one back. It's got the Ogre pretty deep. The Avalanche gives him enough to control him and kill him off. Now Boogie, there's a boat coming for your face. You're not a sailor, be careful. Torrent follow up as well, but Cold Embrace, we've seen this experience before. Good luck killing him.
Boogie also has a pipe, so your raises aren't really effective. They tickle, and Boogie is completely fine.
Meanwhile, look at the top lane. A lot of damage on that tier 2, just because of the creeps and the Skelly Bros. Actually, the Catapult will do most of the work. In fact, all the work.
Yeah, a little surprised they didn't send anyone to defend it, but now that the tier 3 has been taken down, they can maybe go for shrines instead.
Looks like that's going to be the case. They surrender the tier 2 in the top, and they'll look towards this shrine.
A little bit of a waste. They didn't really need to lose that tier 2. No. They could have rotated away from here towards the top lane and the shrine. But the thing is, if they did that...
Too fast, they get caught out, right?
Not only that, but the fact that they would get devoured. So this side of the map wouldn't be theirs anymore. This
and
way
they can pressure so easily as well at this point, right?
Exactly. Also, Raid King, who was building that Radiance, changed his mind and is moving towards Blade Mail. And it's a decent option versus a Drow.
The please don't kill me methodology, and those stuns are coming out. Boogie down to half HP, big crits coming through. Blade Mail, so they don't want to hit him. The boat follow up as well, but the Winner's Curse is going to be there. Attacking on the GPK as he does have that DD. Now they're going to turn around. Drow trying to hit into this quickly. Dream needs to back up a little bit, turns around on Boogie, but the damage overwhelms him once. He's coming up for the second time, but FMG might not be there to join him. X control, toss back, GPK with a Requiem, does manage to get the kill on the Boogie. Can they find more is the question. Wish, Aegis has been expended, but Dream, he might go down for the second time. The stuns are good. Yol, frontlining for his team. Nefra, it's his time to shine. FNG just brought back, can't afford to go down again, but GPK has the DD. They respect it.
Gambit, they did play that fight
Toss.
fairly well, but they still lost it.
Yo, Vampire. Oh my god, the damage, GPK. He almost died to the splash there.
XS Vampire, dead again. After that buyback. So we had FNG buyback, we had the tiny buyback, and what did they get? Not a whole lot. Crystal Maid, Ogre, and the Legion Commander. That's not really what you came for. You came for the Raxes.
And you walk away with it and a few heads. You're happy if you're on the side of Wind and Rain. Gambit, a little bit more fuming. You've got a small window to make something happen because it's at least 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes until Roche is up. And if you're Gambit, you're not comfortable with the way the map is set now. So flip the board and start again.
Are you telling them to GG out?
No.
Flip the boards?
I mean, that's one way to flip the board, but I'm thinking the vision game. Flip the vision game because you know this whole area has to be warded.
I don't know, 10 minutes in, 20 minutes in, 10k ahead. Wind and Rain, they must be feeling themselves really comfortable in this current state of the game. And it's on Gambit to somehow smoke out, take some pick off, take some control. But if you're thinking about the way draw strategies are usually played, you just group up and go, right? And that's what they're doing again. You can't really find a pick off if 5 of them are together.
It's the death ball pain, right? If you let them get their hands on an Ogre and a Drow, you've probably got to anticipate this comes, and you've got to have a plan against it. Because of how rough their lanes went and the way it converged, you know, GPK is in this powerhouse. In fact, you can even see him going for Lincolns just to try and dodge out getting dueled in these fights.
I don't know just how much a build such as Lincoln's plus Yules is going to do for you.
You still die in about 3 hits, 4 hits from the TA.
It's not only that, like, where is your damage coming from?
Yes.
That's your biggest problem now. You have Wraith King with Blade Mail and you have Yules, Lincoln's SF. They deal no damage. You absolutely have nothing but the tiny and some raises, I guess, but that's not enough. Even this Drow Ranger has SMY and Dragonlance. She has nearly 2k HP. You aren't even taking Nefrit down.
No, and it's just going to get worse from here. We know how powerful Drow talents can be as the game goes on, and that's another thing when you look at the XP distribution. You know, you feel like this Kunkka's lacking behind a bit. Wraith King's nowhere near the 20. GPK, like, if you could survive long enough to get to the maximum level, you kind of max that Drow with the cooldown reductions, right? And you'll have more actives as a likely outcome. It's not easy, though. You can see they're just doing the classic, I'll drag you bot and buy more time for my team, because this Wraith King is still going for that Radiance. He's fully committed.
I mean, it's a decent Radiance game for Wraith King. I don't think going right-click would be
You get
that
kited
helpful.
too much.
Yeah, exactly. You'll get kited. Getting some armor would be good, but that comes a little bit later. Kunkka did go full utility, which will help them out in these next team fights. You have Solar Crest and Vlad's on Kunkka, but I don't think that's enough. We'll see, though. There's a smoke coming from Wind and Rain as well, and they're invading.
Boogie's leading the way. He's going to break on the Shachlo. He didn't want to be broken onto, though. He needs to be careful. He needs to actually get a good boat combo off, but the Scust is out. No way to protect himself. In fact, he's going to be dead before the silence ends. Duel even at the end, just a spit in his face.
Yol forced himself into FNG.
And FNG is not going anywhere. Well, he is. He's going home in a body bag.
He's going to the Fast Express to the fountain.
The good news is they can't push it on top because Gambit are pushing this out. The bad news is that Wind and Rain already have a creep wave coming in the mid.
Yeah.
And I think at this rate, Liz, by the time you do have even the Sacred Relic, you're going to have no buildings in your base.
There's no buyback on Kunkka, no buyback on Crystal Maiden. This is one side at least. All the tier 2s have fallen, so you can go for top lane too. If you're a tiny, you can't really approach them at all. If you get clipped by anything and you can't blink, you will die. That's it. That's Megas.
You're only 23 minutes in. I'm not even sure Gambit can hold against Megas if this happens.
Okay, that's not Megas. That's two sides.
That's a glyph.
That's 2 sides in the glyph. Perhaps
Roche. Up in 15 seconds. They've got a trap, so they'll just fall back for a moment and wait that out, most likely.
I actually thought they were going to try to end because of the big KB on TA. But they don't. They show some discipline, and I respect that. I think it's much better.
Look what they're doing now, though. Because they realize Gambit don't want to stay in the base anymore. Like, this is... They're not smoking for this, but this is kind of that feeling, right? Like, it's a do-or-die type smoke situation.
Yeah, you kind of understand what they can try to do because they're in a really bad spot. But once you notice SF on the top lane killing creeps with raises, you can go straight into the pit as he can't really get there fast enough.
Exactly. Bot lane puts him way too far away. Aegis going to be picked up by Wish, and now this time around, they got to choose on Nefrit, so you can't kill either. Boogie's unkillable as well.
Okay, if you are Wish, you got tipped after dying solo to SF. Do you tip back?
No, you wait until the end of the game,
Of
just
course.
as you're killing his throne.
Of course.
Because that's the cheap cop-out, right? Like, I'm going to do the safe tip. It's like someone who says ease at the end after they just, you know, maybe lost their lane to begin with. But in this situation, you know, it hits hard on the GPK. The morale damage will be worthwhile. The damage to the base is going to be brutal. Because Wind and Rain, we've seen what the Drows will do once they reach that high ground, and you've only got one lane left to use. What's the big pickup? What is the item that is going to save you? Because you don't even have the Relic on Dream, and your Kunkka is nowhere near this 4 stuff. So no new items likely to come up before they fight.
No new items, no new big levels. Wraith King did get 15 at least for that talent of his, but that's pretty much it. And they're coming.
Knock, knock. Wish is just tapping away at the tower. The assistant's Nefrit. Torrent, they toss back one. The Requiem a little bit early. BKB activated. GPK has to back off with the Ghost Scepter to protect himself. Tiny on the side. Sant's going to run out soon. Blade Mail. Dream just trying to stop them from attacking him right now. The root's going to come out to Yol. X will drag him back into the boat. Cold Embrace, can it keep him alive? FNG even uses the ultimate but gets silenced up. They can't even kill off the Ogre. Finally, he will go down. They move it forward. Vampire, toss back another one. The buyback coming out from Ogre, but he's got a long way to go before he arrives. Wyvern's already dead. They did lose the Tiny, though. And Tiny has no buyback. Commitment of buyback by the Wyvern. They want to end this game now.
Ogre and Wyvern both buyback. They want to come and help out their teammates.
It's a long walk.
So yeah, it's a long walk, though. So far, it's been a decent hold by Gambit, but they pretty much used all their big spells.
Luckily, they're not the biggest cooldown. They're going to have a bow again in 25 seconds. The question is, will you have a base in 20 seconds?
Yeah, if you are Wind and Rain, you have to kind of go a little bit deeper now.
Dream got bait out there. A lot of damage done. Blade Mail to try and return some of it, but that's scary. GPK just using Wraith King as a proxy fighter at this point with the Lincolns. Root out. Yol, so tanky again though. Dream might go down once. There it is, the first life coming back into a mess. Tiny will finally respawn. CM won't stay alive. Wish blinks deep for it. Now the boat coming through. X drag back on a Nefrit. Shadow Blade up, trying to move away with the Glimmer Cape. No, there's the duel coming out. Controls him up. Turn around. Dream. He's going to go down. No way back. He's got buyback. He might have to commit it. He's staying alive for the moment though with the Blade Mail. He's staying in it. Lifesteal's good enough. Finally he'll go down. BKB's running out for Wish. He's being right-clipped by GPK, but he turns around and takes out Vampire. Dead again. He only just got back into the game. Wish. There's the Aegis. First life down. How do you get through him twice though? You have no boat.
Fight this.
You just have to calm down. But you know they're probably not going to leave.
There's no reason. They can heal up the Ogre and Legion, I suppose, but you can stay here and finish off the Rexes at least.
Golden Embrace coming off cooldown. Probably look to save someone, but as Wish moves in again, GPK on the side does have the Requiem to work with. He's going to go for it. Tries to reduce the damage, to keep that melee Rax alive and keep the hopes of winning the game up with it. Go Scepter again, just to dodge out the right clicks that are formidable. FNG can't root in time before Wish manages to blink away. They do keep the melee racks alive, though. There's going to be some respect had as Wind and Rain back off.
Wind and Rain back off because they have new items flying over too. So after those are there, you can continue pushing. Also, the BKBs were on cooldown. They still are 10 seconds for TA, so you can wait the BKB as well. Legion Commander has it in 1 second off too.
That's true.
You can just pop the BKBs and hit the Raxes and you will make megas.
Yeah, if you win a Rain right now, you're going, it's shopping time. Hurricane Pike complete. And we've seen what they do with these 4 stuffs with this control. Like, the X is doing nothing to them at stage.
Dream as well. Opts to go for the Maelstrom instead. After the buyback, he realizes, okay, if I get Radiance, it can happen, but not in this game.
No, it's just too far. Maybe next game. Maybe you pick Wraith King again. Maybe your Wraith King gets picked off. He doesn't have Reincarnate. He can't afford to go down like this. He's gone. No buyback. That might just be the final nail in the coffin. 75 seconds without your Wraith King. And they even ping out GPK as well. He has a blink.
All the time of the world that you need to just go top lane and take the Raxes. But you need your creeps. And that's why they fortified. They didn't fortify to protect their buildings. They fortified to protect their creeps, which SF was trying to creep skip. And now, with the Divine Protection off, they'll be able to go top and finish off the Raxes. But they have to be careful still.
It's like a bad not joke. There's no laughs, there's no smiles for Gambit. There might just be death. FNG, no, he's going to go down. Avalanche used, buyback comes out already for the CM, but they're hitting your buildings. Zampar goes in, tosses them away, the extra drive back into the boat, does clip on a Nefrit, but the winner's curse on the side, the duel follow up as well, and GPK is just gone. Dusted and out, buys back straight away. FNG, big Friesenfield coming out, but Boogie's BKB lasts long enough, and he has the cheese to work with as well. Slatcho, nope, damage too high. BKB from Wish, gonna chase him down. Triple kill already. This man might head for a rampage. FNG next on the deck. Will go down. Actually, Nikwa gets the final hit as the GG comes out. Wind and rain. I mean, they slam him in the dirt, and they make him eat mud for breakfast. Gambit not looking too hot after game 1.
Gambit, man. I watched the Hamburg Invitational, actually, for this tournament, which they won. They played versus many CIS teams, such as Flight to Moon, Windstrike, and they did pretty well back there, but now they're making me think, are they really